Hi, welcome to the help video for Chapter 2's Prepare case. So I have navigated from Blackboard to my IT lab, and I have gone into Chapter 2. I'm going to come down to assignments. I will select the, actually I'm going to go to student view, sorry. Let's do this. So Chapter 2, assignments, and then the Chapter 2 prepare case, which is weekly sales. I'm going to click on that, and then I want to download the materials, and there's quite a few here, so you could download all files, which would produce a zipped file that you can unzip. I'm going to just download them individually. They're all going to go to my downloads folder. So that didn't take long. And because I'm using Chrome, they appear down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and close. I'm going to bring up the instructions, which is the Word file. And let's see what we're going to do there. All right, enable. And then I'm going to open up the Excel file, and it should begin with your name. I'm as a student preview, so mine says student. I'm going to just minimize my IT lab, and then I'm going to set this up so that I like my instructions on the left, and maybe, so I want to put them here, and I want to put my Excel file over here. So this, let's take a minute and read the project description. So the Red Bluff Golf Course and Pro Shop sells products ranging from golf clubs and accessories to clothing displaying the club's logo. In addition, the Pro Shop collects fees for rounds of golf and services such as lessons from the golf pro John Schilling. Manager Alita Harriet, needs to track Pro Shop sales by category on a day-by-day basis. Sales, at least to some extent, are a reflection of traffic in the Pro Shop and can be used to help determine staffing requirements on different days of the week. So that's a really important concept there, or purpose, I guess. So yeah, we're tracking sales, but sales are an indicator of how many people come in, and so if you have more people buying things that are in the shop, then you need more staff. So there's that correlation, and we're going to explore that. In addition, summary sales data can be compared to inventory investments to determine whether the product mix is optimal given the demands of the client. So what we're saying here is, are we stocking the things that the people are buying, right? So let's correlate what we have versus what's in demand. Each item of service at the time of sales is recorded in the Pro Shop point of sale POS system. At the end of each day, the POS system produces a cash register report with categorized sales for the day. This is the data source for each day's sales for the worksheet. Alita has created an initial layout for a sales analysis workbook, but she wants you to finish it. Okay, so that's kind of the foundation there. And I highly recommend on all of these labs that you take the time to really read the description and analyze what the purpose is, because it's not enough to just do the steps. You have to connect it to what you're trying to achieve. And so, you know, the description will help you understand the goals of the project, right? So if we take a look at this, I have already got step 1 done, so I'm just going to mark that done. To be of value, information must be communicated effectively. And so that's part of what's in the beginning of the chapter. And it talks about communication can be numeric, which is what we're seeing here, which would be, they call tabular, or like a table, or it can be graphical. So that could be like a chart or some kind of infographics. And then further, how we define the individual contents of text or values is important. And so one of the things, I'm going to minimize this for a minute, in your ebook or in your textbook, there's a table, and if you have a physical book, it's on page 106, but it's table 1 in your ebook, and it talks about the different kinds of numeric formatting. And so really the accounting and the currency are the same, except, accounting and currency, except, so let me show you over here. So if I format this one as accounting, so accounting is this $, home tab, number group, $. So oops, I'm on that and I format. Okay, so a couple things happened. Let me do this one too. Look at where this number shifted. It moved a little bit to the left. It put a $. If I make this one 1,000, you're gonna get a comma, 2 decimals, and a fixed location of the $. So accounting format will always have the $. At the left, and then it always shifts the numbers over, and that's because of how negative numbers are displayed in accounting. In the accounting style, how a negative number is displayed is with parentheses. And so the system moves your numbers over. It's not a full character width, but it's enough to accommodate that parentheses if the number went negative. So fixed $, comma, 2 decimals, and it does numbers as a negative. Let me do this accessories as a currency. So currency is not one of the buttons here. So to get to currency, I have to come up here to general, click down and pick currency. Right away you can see a couple things. So let me make this one a currency also so you can see the difference. So it didn't shift because look, when a negative number that's currency is displayed, it actually has a minus sign in front of it. So it doesn't need to move the numbers over because it's not going to ever have that parentheses. So you're going to get the same thing if I change this into a 1,000. You're going to get the same thing, a comma, 2 decimals, a $. But in the case of currency, in addition to the negative number being displayed differently, the $sign is floating, right? So this one only has, goes up to the tens, this one goes up to the thousands, but look, the $sign is placed right next to it. Accounting, it's fixed. So I'm just going to do Control Z a bunch of times and get that back to where it was. So that's the difference between accounting and currency. Let me make this one accounting, and then let me make this one a comma. So comma is a button right here. And so these are naturally good pairs. So the comma does the comma, 2 decimals, and it does the shift. The difference between accounting and comma is that the comma does not have that $sign. So those are two numeric formats that pair really well together. And then you have some other ones. So general, number, right? And so the difference here is by default, number has 2 decimals. General just is what it is what it is. And then percentage will do the math. So that would divide by, move that decimal place over 2 and do the percent sign. So those are just a few of them that I want you to understand. Let me get back to, I did want to show you this real world advice. If you have your textbooks, it's on page 107 in a little box. It's like a little purple box. If you have the ebook, it's in that same section, this first section. But it talks about accounting versus currency. So this is a really nice one. Any of these real world advice, it's really a good idea to read through them because it does give you actual advice for using the product. All right, so now that we've talked about this, let's actually do. So we want to be on the weekly sales sheet. Format the range. Okay, so first of all, this tells me I have to select multiple cells. They're all next to each other, so I'm okay. I can just click and drag. So B6 through H6. And this technique is really common where we're going to put the accounting, so that's this $sign. See, when I just hover over it, it shows accounting number format. It's really common to have the first line and a total line be, if it's numeric, having that $sign. But usually you don't have a $sign on everything because it gets to be a bit much, which is the second step. Format cell range B7 through H8. Oh, need to move my mouse. H8 as comma. And remember I said these are really good companions because they have the same negative display. They have 2 decimals, comma. The difference is the $sign. Okay, so we did that one. Format cells. Okay, so then here I can see these are non-adjacent. So that's when I have to employ the use of the control key. So let's do the first range first. So C29, so C29 through 30. Press my control key. I'm going to do C33. I'm going to let go of my control because I need to scroll. But as long as I don't click anywhere, I'm good. Now, before I click, I press that control key again. So control C36 through C38. So we have these non-adjacent cells selected, and I want to do the percent. So right here's the percent. And then notice it makes it a percentage with no decimals. And I want to increase that decimal 1, so there's 1 decimal. So in that number formatting, so here we have accounting, percent, comma, and then increase and decrease decimal. So I want to increase the decimal 1 time. So I'm going to click it once, and there I get the single decimal position. Okay, I am going to be done with that. I am going to stop here because we're already at 13 minutes because I talked about some of the concepts, and we'll pick up at step 3. All right, thank you.